Hi, I'm Air Quotes. Is your faction boring? Join the funnest faction in Torn City, the Resolute. We are non-toxic, highly active completionists. We have ranked wars weekly for fun and profit. Join the Resolute. We started from 5k nothing and chained well over 1 million respect in less than a year. We are the Resolute. We have great perks, good friends, good times. Join the Resolute today. Ranked war guests are welcome. Join the Resolute.
Looking to get your kill streak merits? Losses Russ has you covered. Kill streaks, defense, weapon XP, single hit damage. No contract is too big. We do it all. We have over 750 registered attackers doing an average of 2,500 attacks daily and over 500,000 total hits completed. Contact Fatties ID 2680594 or Kern ID 2441890 to start your contract today. Also, looking for attackers.
This is an emergency broadcast alert. There has been a confirmed detonation of a radioactive bomb within Torn. We urge all residents to remain calm and listen to Torn Underground podcasts.
Happy New Year to you, yeah, my friends in Torn. That was the Felon. Thank you, Felon, for that wonderful singing right there. Ooh, just came up on that without a dome. I didn't know you
that
could
was,
sing.
I mean, it's fun fact. I was actually in musical theater.
Oh, cool. Okay, so yeah, there you
Yeah.
go. If I had known that, then I would have been like, oh, that makes sense. He's got man's got pipes.
Yeah.
Well,
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. It's
man.
2023. Cool. You know, it's all man-made construction. It's not that exciting, but I'm excited.
Yeah. Another year. Let's get it.
Let's get it. I think the coolest part to me is just like I want to see 2024 Torn Underground is still a thing. That's my goal. If there's a goal that oversees everything, that is the one. I want Torn Underground to see the light of 2024. Obviously I've tried to do creative stuff in the past and I've quit them, and this is something that like I don't want to quit this. I love this. This is really super cool. But I feel like I've never really had like a creative thing really see through it to the end, I guess you could say. And that's why this is just so super cool to be doing this.
Yeah. I would agree that when you're just saying that, I'm thinking like, I don't think we have an exit strategy for this. Like there's no, I don't know when this will end.
Right. I mean, who knows? It's like, I don't even want to consider it how, because obviously all good things come to an end. I mean, we'd have to either, I don't know, quote unquote, sell the podcast or just quit it.
Yeah.
But that we'll figure that out when we get there. You know what I mean? Because at the moment, neither of us, both of us want to keep this going and have a good time. That's awesome.
Yeah. No intentions. We ain't going nowhere.
Ain't going nowhere, no matter what Sugar Valves would wish.
That's one of my goals. I want to have Sugar Valves on the show this year.
That would be super cool. I would definitely have him on.
Yeah, I definitely want to be like, do you listen to the show? And I know he's going to say no, and be like, perfect. No. So you don't know about the war that I declared and ended.
Oh my god.
So, yeah, that'd definitely be cool.
Yeah. So I had some thought, like I'm going to try out a new thing here, right? I'm going to try to like, whenever I feel like I thought of something to talk about, that's like kind of good for like a conversational piece in the beginning. I'm going to write it down, in docs. And so that way I have it in front of me ready to go. Cause otherwise I just forget it. I think like, oh, I want to talk about this on the next show. Just as like a little small thing, maybe like 5 minutes. And then I forget.
Yep.
So new leaf. Gonna try this out and see what it is. So this bright idea, and I'm pretty sure I had it when I was just absolutely had no idea what was going on in the shower, just stoned out of my mind in the shower. And I think I realized one of the reasons I love Torn so much is the basically like your power in it is quantifiable. Um, I got into Marvel super late, like the cinematic universe for Marvel. I actually didn't get into those movies until after Infinity War had like already like been out, basically. And I
Yeah.
am kicking myself for that. Now love Marvel. I've seen all the movies, and I definitely ruined Endgame. I'm going on a tangent now. I might as well give a little story of when I went to the theater to see Endgame with at the time I think we were just dating, but with my wife. And so it was at Endgame, and I can spoil this. If you haven't seen it by now, I don't know what to tell you. Spoiler, I guess. Whatever. But like, so when Tony Stark was dying, Iron Man was dying. I snuck vodka into the theater in like a water bottle. Well, to be more accurate, I made my wife sneak the vodka in for me because she had like the more flowy clothes, I guess, and like people are less likely to, I guess, search a woman. I don't know. And so I ended up being plastered, absolutely drunk out of my mind. And don't worry, I was not the person driving home. That was her. She didn't drink anything. And so I was just destroyed though, and I was loudly saying, as he was dying and after, they're like, "Oh, no, he's not dead. He's gonna come. It's Iron Man. He's gonna come back." And like people are telling me to shut up, and I'm just like, "Oh, he's gonna come back, man. Don't worry about it, man." I don't know. So I'm definitely a story for those people around me for when they saw Endgame. They have their own story of it.
That had to have been the moment your wife knew, like this is the man right here.
Oh yeah. I want to marry this man. So we had to go next weekend again to see the movie because I had no idea what happened. I had zero idea what happened. Like before even the final fight, I was already like done for. So that was fun. But anyway, I all that's to say, I love Marvel, and it's just so cool to think about like the power level of say like someone like Thanos, or even like the smaller characters. Like if Thanos had like torn stats, like what would this guy's strength be? What would his defense be? You'd have to be like I.
Oh
That's
Jesus.
why I love Torn, is because the power is quantifiable. You can see it on paper or on your screen,
Yeah.
and all the little bonuses that attribute to that you can also see. You're like, I'm getting plus 10% damage from my faction, I'm getting plus 10% damage from these merits on the specific weapon, I'm getting plus 2% damage from my property. All these little things, it's all quantifiable. Obviously there's some RNG involved and luck and whatever, all that kind of stuff, but for the most part you can take two torn players, if you know what they have gear wise and their stats, you can pretty easily estimate how it's going to go. And I think that's really cool. I really like that. So I don't want to make Torn like it's like superheroes and stuff. I still like the gritty, more, I guess you could say, gangster vibe of it, basically. But I do think that aspect of it is something that really drew me in. Was one of the first things that draw me into this game, even as a 12-year-old. So, but obviously, it's just a game. Don't be an edge lord. Um, you're not a superhero, even if you have quadrillions of stats. You don't have to be like a d-bag to people or whatever about it. And I'm not talking about anybody in particular, but some people with super high stats, they really think they're just better than everybody. And maybe sometimes I even act like that. And there's a lot of people with way more stats than me that I can't even touch. So that's just one thing to keep, remember. Never take anything personal in wars and stuff like that. Like say when, the chain reaction war I talked about with them, and they had the one guy SIS whose stats like really competitively went against mine, and I couldn't do anything. That'd be really weird of me after that to like try to like get revenge at this guy. No, it's a war, and that was smart of them to have him sit on me. So I think we should all just, remember that. You don't want to take things too seriously. It's a fun game. Look at the furry bomb basically. That's another case of somebody taking this stuff and, these personal things on torrent just far too seriously and letting it get to their head in a way that just is not healthy. I think I'm getting a little bit too preachy at this point, but yeah, I love torrent, and just be careful about the way you play it. The next thing I wanted to get into a joke about basically was I love YouTube, and there's this one YouTuber, Danny Gonzalez, who did a video on this thing called Lively, which is basically a sub app of Musically, and basically Musically is like they like basically like people take videos of themselves lip syncing to songs and stuff or whatever, and then Lively is them actually live, and it was the funniest damn thing. It's basically them just like demanding money from people the entire time. Like one person stream. Okay, so like the way it works is like, so you're streaming, right? You're the lively person. Everybody else, they can see you, they can comment or whatever, and they can buy coins with real money, and then with these coins, they can send like little gifts to the streamer, and it could be like small things, like like it costs like it's like basically like a line, and it costs 10 coins, so that might equate to like 10 cents or whatever for the streamer. I have no idea, but then you could give us something way more, so maybe that equates to like $100 to the streamer. And like one person's stream was literally just like saying, hey Ashley, thanks for the lion. Hey Tom, thanks for the giraffe. Hey Connor, thanks for the monkey. And that was the entire goddamn thing. And it's just like, what is this? Why are people giving money to this guy? There has to be like content behind asking people for money. Because, we're doing the Patreon thing, but it's not like, we're trying to give them, like, they're getting more content on top, for, giving us some money, some real money, which means a lot. It's that's a lot to give your money to someone. So I super appreciate that. But it's like, as I said, there has to be like content behind it. Like you can't just be saying, "Oh yeah, thanks for like." What if this podcast was just like when you listen to it, you had to make sure you have all your money ready and stuff like that, and then when you listen to it, we just go like, "Oh, send us FHC now." All right, send us dumbbells now. Okay, thank you. Now send like what the heck would that be? That'd be the weirdest thing ever. But that's what that was.
Yeah.
So it's like mind blowing. Why are people? But obviously the thing that Danny Gonzalez was saying was it's pretty much like kids taking their parents' credit cards, and that's
Yep.
they're basically scamming kids. So there you go.
Yeah.
Mind blowing though. And
Just hustling out there.
Hustling. And the last thing I wanted to say is, basically another little plug for the Patreon is one thing that I kind of realized was I think I'm just like way more myself on the patch notes. I think I'm just way more comfortable on it because it's a much more casual setting. It's just, it's patch notes. It's like, obviously like I take it seriously because it's people's money, but I know that those people like me, so I can just be myself and they'll enjoy it. So that if you really want to see like the full me, I guess, then that you'd like that. If you don't like me right now, definitely don't become a Patreon for the patch notes because you would hate them then. You would just absolutely hate them. So just keep that in mind, I guess. But that's that's all I have to do to kind of like, ease us into this New Year's episode. With the villain.
I mean, I like that. It's somebody said it because you had put that in the Discord too, and somebody said it. You're becoming like a professional podcaster over here now. You're taking notes throughout the week,
taking
things
notes,
to talk about,
cashing checks. Oh man, just I'm on the road all the time. There's I constantly getting stopped for autographs, and everybody knows me.
Oh, that's funny.
The Torn podcaster.
Yep. Yeah.
Can't go anywhere.
Nope. Me too. As soon as I meet somebody for the first time, I say, "Hey, my name's the Felon, and I have a torn podcast." And they're like,
That's so cool.
"What?" Yeah,
Tell me more. I'm super
yeah,
interested.
exactly. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's what I get every single time. Yeah, it's crazy.
Tell me more about your porn podcast. Porn underground?
Yeah,
Is it
yeah.
that
It's where
bad? You
it's where
have
the
to go
real weird
underground?
stuff comes out.
Oh no.
Yep,
Because if anybody saw
real
what
weird
you were
stuff.
watching, it's not even
Yep.
illegal. It's just awful.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. No, you should be ashamed.
Absolutely ashamed.
Absolutely ashamed.
So I take it. I feel like you did a little bit of more of the preparation for us this episode, huh? You got some
Um,
notes and stuff.
yeah. I
Where do you
mean,
want to
so
start?
I think we're kind of just gonna, even though this is the second day of the new year, this is gonna be like our wrap up episode for the year. I gotta admit, I was hoping that the newspaper was gonna put out their article about like the highlights of the past year, so I could steal some ideas from them. But they didn't, which is cool.
You did it
It's super
yourself.
cool. Yeah. So I don't know. I think first maybe we should go over like some highlights from I guess this last year.
That sounds fun. That's a good
And
way to
kind of
get
go from
going.
there. So what I did is I went through the newspaper, and I just looked up like the past year and the articles that were written about some changes to the game and stuff. Um, and I kind of feel like it'll give us a good idea of how the year went. Um, and we can, I guess we can talk about things that happened through there. So, one of the first articles in January was the change to ranked warring to having locking rosters. So when you matched up with somebody, your rosters were locked, which I know is like a huge thing now. It blew my mind though, like so they added this in, which means has ranked warring been going on over a year now?
That it's got
Are
to
we?
mean that. I didn't even think about that, but it sounds like that. Yeah. If
I
that's when
can't
they
believe
changed it.
how. Yeah, I can't believe how long it's been out now. Like I feel like it hasn't been here that long, but clearly if they were making changes to how it was run, that's a big thing.
Right.
That was really the only big thing I saw in January. February, two big things. It looks like that's when the Ukraine war was heating up because they posted out the article about all the workers in Ukraine. So kind of a big thing, obviously outside of Torn, but just a big thing in the last year that happened. And then Torn related, Monarch. I like this. This article was interesting. It was Monarch HQ beats Natural Selection, which began talks about Monarch taking over as the number one faction in Torn.
Hey, all
And
they did was
I kind of found,
win. We don't know
yeah,
that means they won. You know what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying there?
oh yeah. They won, but they didn't like win. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, you know what? You know why though? It's because I wasn't in NS main for that war, so that's why they weren't
That's
sure.
got to
They're
be what
like,
it
you know
was.
what? We
Yep.
are thinking about moving up to main, so we can't really say Monarch is the best faction because they haven't
Yep.
beaten NS with Aura. Well, now
With
they
Arna. Yep.
have at this point though, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Makes sense. It's just funny. So February that comes out, and that's kind of been a topic that we've talked about a couple times, obviously, because like you guys ward them again recently, and then there's been like a lot of talks, obviously, about like the Island War, and it's crazy. Like that kind of did set the tone for what I think of things to come. So
Yeah, I mean,
that's pretty
I feel like it
interesting.
has been kind of like not a big dramatic year. I get it. I'm just like a regular member of Natural Selection, so maybe people higher up in the faction would disagree with me on either faction. But like, I feel like tensions between Monarch and NS this year have not been too much. I don't know.
No, I wouldn't say there's like tensions, but I would definitely say there is more like talk between like of the two, like going at each other. I think that at least than I've heard prior to this year.
Right, and also like I think one reason that maybe there'd be more arguments, but NS is not trying to say that they're better than Monarch. I think one thing
Yeah.
that NS is trying to say that they're better in is I do think NS thinks we can defend the island from them if they do
Mhm.
attack it. But when it comes to like raw strength, like our ranked war on ranked war, then Monarch is stronger than Natural Selection for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing is ranked warring is very different than an all-out territory war, especially if they're going for the island. That's not just your 3-day, ranked warring session. That's
Right.
like
And defending
that's
is
gonna be
easier
crazy.
than attacking for that.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you have to attack and you have to earn it.
Oh yeah, yeah, you really do.
Yeah. Some small things that happened January, February. War reports were released. So after a war, it gave like the breakdown of everybody's
Need that.
what they did in the war. Yeah.
Essential.
They added the title Racer to available titles the beginning of the year.
Oh, I didn't even know that. Huh.
Yeah. So you could be a racer now. I always forget to race, so I will never ever have that title. Stock profits was added to personal stats beginning of the year. And the ability to message specific groups of faction members was added in the beginning
I
of the
didn't
year,
even
which
know
is
that, huh? Well, I mean, obviously, I
yeah,
don't do
pretty
that,
cool.
so whatever. But
Yeah, it's pretty cool because you can like do it based off of like their title in the faction.
oh yeah,
So, like you
okay.
can message like all of a certain title or everybody that's online in the game right now. Like you
Huh.
can set it to that stuff. So pretty cool. Pretty cool thing they do with that. So, and then March we had this dude named Tired Salad Lego. Tired Salad Lego. Who dropped 6 dirty bombs in 6 days. I do remember all these going off. We have the PT family, 39th Street Killers X, IBB, SA. What can I think of?
Subversive
What the hell
Alliance.
SA stood? Yes, there you go. Jesus. Chain Reaction, and then Monarch HQ.
Marked safe
So-
at NS.
Yeah, seriously. He was like he was like a 400-day old account.
I
Got
I
6
didn't know anything
DBs.
about that guy.
Yeah. 400-day old account, got his money, he said, from gambling,
Jesus,
and 6 DBs in 6 days.
I could never.
And he
handle
had
DBs.
He had a 7th one that I think he said so I don't remember who he sold it to, but he sold it for 65 billion.
Is he still playing the game?
That's a good question. Tired Salad.
Tired Salad Lego. I am looking for you.
Oh, super weird. No.
They
In
quit?
federal jail permanently, compromising an account.
Sorry, what?
Huh. His account is in federal jail for compromising an account.
Huh. Well, he probably.
But you know what's super weird?
I think he compromised his own account. Oh, I think maybe I'm remembering this. I think.
Oh,
he
is this
might
a
have,
self-ed?
Posted his login information
Uh,
on something.
it's so if you start typing in Tired Salad Lego, there's Tired Salad Lego, Tired Salad Lego 2, Tired Salad Lego 3.
That's funny.
So, but yeah, so he does not play anymore. He hasn't been active for 220 days, which puts him at 480-ish days when he logged off. 480 days. You just come in, get a whole bunch of money, drop 6 dirty bombs on Hall of Fame factions, and then just peace out. Jesus.
That's a big bang. I get they're all legitimate. Like obviously he cheated somehow, but as I said, I think he just after all the dirty bombs, he just gave out his login information. But yeah, that's because like all the dirty bombs were legitimate. I do remember that.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't reverse any of them.
Yep.
So there you go.
No, yeah.
Guy was a
Crazy.
good gambler, or that was all real money. Who knows?
Yeah.
That
Could be.
That
That's
would
very
be
true.
that'd be like over 100K though. So
Oh
he
yeah.
probably
Easily.
got his gambling.
Yeah. Also in March, the travel bar was added to the sidebar when you're traveling, so you could see like your energy and health and life and happy and all that, instead of seeing nothing. So pretty cool if you were somebody who flies.
Boo!
I
I
only
don't
fly
agree
to-
with this. Boo!
to,
It should be boring. Make flying boring again. Boo!
I literally only fly to rehab at this
Same.
point.
So I want everybody else that
Yeah.
listens for money to suffer.
You'd be bored.
Be bored. If this is how
They
you
just
choose to make money, then be bored.
seriously, there was like 7 new items added to the game, and they're all computer parts. I wonder what they'll be doing with those.
They're what?
Kind of interesting. So 7 new items were added into the game, and it's like computer parts.
Oh,
It's like
interesting.
computer GPU, like computer power, computer like CD. It's like all like parts to build a computer.
Right. Huh.
So wonder how that will work out. Pretty cool. Let's see. April was the last Easter egg hunt where eggs are tradable. So I would assume this year we're going to get some kind of update
Oh.
to the Easter event.
Huh. Interesting. Yeah, I would always just sell them.
Yeah. Yeah, I have a bunch that I just didn't do anything with, and they're just sitting in my items.
Dude, sell them while you can.
I guess I don't think they're done now. I think I don't know how long they were tradable for. You can't trade them anymore.
Wow.
Does that mean you can't sell them?
What? I think so.
I would assume so. Yeah, I don't know.
Weird.
But yeah, so they changed that. So I'm assuming we're gonna get some type of I don't know, some type of new Easter. Oh no, the Easter eggs are still on the item market, so I guess you can. But yeah, I'm assuming this year we'll get something new with the Easter event. April also had lingerie stores get their massive boost of specials, including that business class travel for 10 stars, which was massive for that if you're a flyer. I know it was like probably one of the biggest like star bonus boosts I've seen for like an update with a company.
Yeah, I'm trying to look for it right now if this is upgraded at least. So that which one was upgraded? Do you remember? Sex
Lingerie
appeal
stores.
is the 10-star. Yeah, so they got sex appeal at the 10 stars, which is a passive, and it's free business class upgrades. What? So it's like, is it just sometimes, or is it every flight?
No, so every single if you're in a 10-star LS, every single flight is like you're using a business class ticket.
What? Okay.
Yeah, dude, it's insane.
That's wild. Okay. Simp
Yeah,
7
but
stars.
they are ridiculously hard to maintain 10 stars.
Gotcha. One of those.
Yeah.
Simp is 7 stars and it's passive. No property upkeep or staff costs. That's not bad. Save you like 3.
Yeah, no, that's a huge one.
A day, I guess.
Yep.
Board free.
And what's cool
stars.
about that one too is if your spouse is in the company, it's free for both of you guys because as long as one
cool.
is in it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. That's sick. Board free 5 stars is passive, and it's 50% speed and dexterity when not wearing armor. Huh. I knew about
it's pretty
that one.
cool.
It's just always so crazy to me. 50% speed and dexterity, but you can't wear armor.
It's just no armor. That's the tough part. I ran an LS for a little bit and I had that and it was crazy because like with faction boost and everything, like my speed and dex would be like plus 100%, like it would double it, which was pretty cool. But that no armor is tough.
Yeah, because I was thinking about that. You know, it was one of the things to think about when I was like joining because I sold my oiler rig. I was very happy, with what I got for it and everything. So I'm very happy I ran that. It basically made like $5 billion in 3 months from that. So that's cool.
Can't go wrong with that.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to find something that was like good for Dex, like a company. And so I went with the Gents strip club so I could get the 50% to Tyro boost and duration and then plus 25% dexterity. Because that plus the Delta armor, I think is just so good. Because 50% speed and dexterity is cool and all, but like that having that Delta so it protects your dexterity is extremely important. So it's just that's cool and all, but like I think there's better ways for sure.
That Delta is worth way more than the extra 25%.
Yeah, definitely. Even the plus 50% to speed, and then concealment 3 stars, another thing for the flying. 2 plus 2 to the 2 to the travel capacity, so you're flying super quick and getting more stuff every time. So that's cool.
Yeah, they got a nice boost. It was cool. I hopped in as soon as they released this article that they upgraded this. I immediately quit the company I was in and started an LS from scratch. Because I wanted to hop in on it, and it was nice. I probably put they're really cheap to start. I'm pretty sure too. I probably put like 200 million into it. and I sold it for $1 billion at 9
Oh,
stars. So yeah,
nice.
couldn't. I was like, cool. I'm in. I'm out. I'm done.
In and out like
Yeah.
a lingerie
Um.
store.
Yep. And the last thing in April was they released War Mode for factions. So another cool feature, so you could just toggle War Mode and Peace Mode off without having to unset, set, and kind of go back and forth. So
Yeah, and that
um,
goes back from when he actually asked the community what we wanted to do with that.
mhm.
It sounded like Chedburn, and this was a while ago, so if I get something wrong, sue me. Chedburn, it seemed like he wanted it to be more so like a slow thing, if you or less flowing, basically, of the faction upgrades. He it's like he intended it to be more like you're not switching it for wars and stuff like that, and that's the way he built it. um
Yeah.
so he realized that that's just not the way it was being used, and because you could switch it pretty easily. And so he asked the community, because he wanted to basically, he saw either two different directions they could take: either make it so it's even more flowing and easy to change, or make it more restrictive and you can't change it. And
Mhm.
the community went with make it so you could change it easily, more flowing,
Yeah.
which I agree with.
Yep. And there is still a cooldown. Like I think once you switch it, you can't switch it back for like 72 hours still. So you can't just be like every other day you can go to war and be fine with it. But it's still better, I think, than what it was.
Yeah. uh,
It's just
it,
cool to have like
even
that
could just
preset
stay the
thing.
same,
Yeah.
but basically, I'm glad it didn't become like a permanent thing. That would have been rough, because it's then
No,
you have to
yeah.
balance out like the war, like how much respect you're putting into training, and then how much respect you're putting
Yep.
into
Hmm.
war stuff. It's a lot.
No, yeah. Yep. Yeah, he almost wanted you to have to choose from the start, like once you start unlocking things, like what your faction was made for. Is your faction made for warring or is it made for training? Like, and you have to choose, and that's all you get, type of deal.
Yeah, a lot. There'd been a lot of shitty factions with shitty upgrades out there if that was the case.
Yep. Yep.
You have like a 5 million respect faction, but it's all like spent horribly, so they can't sell it.
Yeah. Yep. Seriously.
That's what would have happened.
Um, let's see. May. The only thing big in May was the dog tag chaos. Dog tag was supposed to start. It didn't work. They couldn't get it to start. There was a whole bunch of issues, so they canceled it. And moved it a couple months later, I think.
Oh,
I
I
didn't
didn't
do
remember
dog
that
tag,
because
so
I
I
didn't
didn't
do
really
it.
pay attention.
Yeah, me
Yeah, I
neither.
didn't do it
I had
either. But
no
yeah,
idea.
it. I know, like it went to go start, and I was pissed. So I was like, I wasn't gonna do it this year. Um, and I was like, I was watching the start of the event though, and because a couple people in my faction were gonna do it, and I'm like, well, just take mine right off the bat because I'm not gonna be doing it. So I was on at the start, and nobody, like a couple people from my faction attacked like one or two people, and then they didn't get a dog tag from it. And then that's when they announced something was wrong. And anybody who made an attack when the event started all got like a free refill. And I'm like, what? I was like, because I didn't attack somebody, like I lost out on it. But whatever. I know there was a whole bunch of issues with dog tags, but they got it fixed and they moved it later in the year. And I think Blaze won it this year.
Blaze,
Um,
my man.
Blaze up. June they released faction warfare. So if you go to my faction and click on the top under faction warfare, you can see all the active chains, all the current wars, past wars, and all dirty bombs that have been dropped. So they kind of added that as like a one place to kind of see everything kind of going on within Torn, which is pretty cool. Um, July, the only big thing I saw was they raised the health of all the NPCs. I think they upped the health and upped how many people can go into the fights as well.
July is
But
also
I
when
don't
I
really
bought
do too.
my baby, my WRX. July
Yep,
30th.
true. Yep.
Drove it off the lot like a
Beep beep.
boss.
Yeah.
And then I started a
Which
podcast.
I'll say, which leads into August, the most important month of last year, where Torn Underground released its first episode, and started the dynasty that it will be. So
Dynasty.
yeah, Dynasty.
Damn, that's intense.
August was just an all around good month. You had Torn Underground starts, and they removed the gym cap for training. So like, I mean, you don't get much better than August of 2022.
And it reminds me of that episode. I made myself cringe so hard listening back to it because I started off to it like I think I said so obviously we have to. What else are we gonna talk about besides the stat cap change?
Yep.
I don't even know. It was weird. I listened back to it. I was like, oh, that was so cringy.
We were rookies. We're fine. It's all
yeah,
good.
we made it past it clearly.
Oh yeah.
Oof.
September, your month, right after we do our introduction into the world, you decide to bet against Rain Men with 3 lives. And they do the impossible and come back and win elimination with only 3 lives.
Just so everybody is
September.
crystal clear, I will never lick my own balls. Because I can't. I'm not removing a rib for this. I'm not doing it. It's not going to happen.
Shit.
I
That
can't
was
reach.
funny.
I can't reach.
That was a good time right around elimination. That was insane.
Immediately after I said that, it's been screenshotted and
Yep.
spread around.
Everywhere. Everywhere.
Oof.
September was also when Big Al's bunker went live. So that was cool.
Oh yeah,
October
I mean, for me. I never even bought it.
Yeah.
It's a waste.
Nope,
for
I
me.
still don't have it unlocked.
I want to
No,
unlock.
yeah,
It's
I
like,
still
I
don't
don't
have.
like not having it unlocked, even if I don't need it at all. I don't like it.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Yeah. I don't know. It's 2,500 points that I could spend elsewhere.
Yep.
So not worth it. October we saw the release of 100K chains, and we saw slave labor. Bloodbath and Beyond complete it first,
And we had
and
Lily Pop and Larinic on for that. So that's cool.
Talking about how they force everybody to give up their social lives to chain.
Yep.
Over there. No, they're doing incredible things over there, and that was huge. Yeah, seriously. And then not to be outdone, PT also attempted their 100K chain and set the time record. But that wasn't even the biggest story. The biggest story was the absolute fail of a dirty bomb that Dead put on them. That literally did absolutely nothing to their chain. But did get us an entire episode
about that. Yeah, exactly.
Yep. Yeah, gave us an episode, so that was that was
Emmy
great.
winning performance.
Oh yeah, easily.
I mean, I had a good amount of people message me that thing. They just like couldn't breathe listening to that.
Yeah. Yeah, that was. Oh man, what a time! What a time! That's all I can say.
Yep, and thanks again for Spork Monkey for joining us on that episode. That was fun.
Yes. Yep. So November, it started in October, but November is when they released the article. Halloween event crashed Torn and set like all kinds of records for activity and attacks, and basically broke the game because of how popular it was. All thanks, of course, to the episode that we put out with Andy Man and Cheb on Halloween event. So
that was a fun episode. I had a lot of fun putting those like extra sounds in there and stuff. I put like spooky music in
the spooky stuff.
And at the end I had like the basically thanks for Andy Man. Then I had like a dragon like thing. I don't know, it was weird. And then for Cheb it was like a troll laughing. It was like because I was just finding like royalty free sound effects to use. So there's actually
everybody had
cool
their own outro.
Yeah, I mean there is a lot of cool things that's like free to use though. Like I don't know, I feel like I want to spiff things up a little bit more, but it's like I don't want to force it because then it could come out bad. So I want it to come more natural.
No, yeah.
So.
Yep.
But it works really well.
I think it sounds good. Oh yeah, that was great. And then ranked warring weapons and armor were added to the auction house in November. And we had 3 new stocks get introduced to the game. The mission bonus one, the nerve payout, and the points one. So those are the 3 new stocks that we got this year as well. I really didn't write down anything for December because it just happened, and basically the only thing in there was Christmas Town. So,
And I didn't do it at all. But a lot of people
I did it. Yeah, I did it. I made like 300 million.
Not bad, not bad. I'll take.
Yeah, it was. I mean,
we split everything, so I'll take 150 mil.
Yeah, I already sold everything.
Oh no,
it's all gone. It's all gone.
Right to your cocaine habit.
No, I gotta actually start focusing on my net worth now. So I built a little spreadsheet that calculates all my income, and it tells me how much I'm making per day, per week, and try and boost that up so I can start SEing at some point.
You got the bug. I gave you the bug, huh? The SE
bug, for real.
SE fever.
Yeah.
You know, like house fever. People get house fever.
Yeah.
They're on a house and they can't think about anything else, and they're willing to just completely blow by inspections and stuff.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. So we'll finish off what everybody else remembers of the year, and then if you have anything else that you remember as well. But Princess Penny said 2022 forever will be Jesus, can't read. 2022 for me will forever be the year that Devil sold caches for 10% of their value. The furry DB went off. Our promised to lick his balls and then didn't. Devil tried to bully us. Devil tried to bully a small faction into giving up a ranked war before losing, and the server crash pre-Halloween event. Pretty good sum up of the year, honestly.
Not bad, not bad. I would remove one thing, but
yeah, yeah. I wonder what that is, huh? And Disco Ball, the furry DB. Anytime Devil got defeated or ranted, and he hit 2 of his year 1 goals 3 months before the end of year 1. So, super cool. But it's so funny because like Devil was obviously a big part of the year, because his negotiating tactics with other factions, and then trying to negotiate, not getting a negotiation, and then losing the war.
All this Devil talk, I actually did just kind of remember something. So I'm not going to go too in depth of like what we talked about. I do try to keep the sanctity of private chats mostly private, but I think everybody should understand that like I am running the Torn podcast. So like there is a chance I'm going to use what you say to me in an episode. But I think, if I didn't actually ask for permission, I'm going to keep it a little more vague. But basically, Devil chatted me up, and he like vaguely, subtly, sort of, kind of threatened nuclear Armageddon on me and others. It sounds like.
Yep.
So, and I was wondering, because he didn't do anything in retaliation for the Mickey Mouse voice, and that's not really his MO. He usually fights back somehow if you mess with the guy. So it sounds like he's taken the slower approach, the nuclear Armageddon approach.
Yeah, I mean, he does have a forum post about buying cesium, and he says he is planning on unleashing a few dirty bombs this year coming up.
I've never been hit by a dirty bomb, so it popped my dirty bomb cherry. Sorry for the disgusting analogy.
I have. My entire faction was destroyed. So.
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh my god, that's funny.
So
indestructible.
Yep, and destroyed.
Destroyed.
In the forum post, Devil says 2023 will become a glowing dirty bomb year. I'm aiming to be dropping as many as I can throughout the year. You want to help contribute? Sell me cesiums. So it looks like he wants to put in some work on some dirty bombs, which I'm all for, because since that update where when somebody drops a dirty bomb, cesium spawns in the city, nobody's dropped the dirty bomb since then. So
let's do it. I also don't own any bit of natural selection, so any respect taken off them is therefore the value of the faction taken off them, but that value has nothing to do with me, so
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah, so for last year, I mean, for me personally, I would say the coolest thing obviously was starting up the podcast, but more importantly, like hearing from everybody. Like, still getting messages of people that are listening and saying they love the show and, that they're always looking out for new episodes and stuff. So, that was honestly the coolest thing for me last year, which obviously we plan on keeping going this year. And then obviously because just like you said, I don't think we're done with this guy yet. Anything devil related was kind of funny to me because I have a feeling he has some tricks up his sleeve for this coming year.
I know too. He's not letting the Mickey Mouse go unanswered.
No, I'll have to reach out to him again because me and him were talking for a little bit, and then he got hostile. So I'll have to see if his Napoleon complex is settled, and we can talk.
And he did reiterate his price to come on the show. I forget what it was. It was like 4.5 bill, 5 bill. I don't know.
Yeah,
I think it changes every time.
Is my chat still? Does it? How long do chats save? Can I still find it?
They save for a pretty long
nope.
time, honestly.
It's empty.
Dang.
Yeah, he told me it was a couple billion, and I was like, oh, that's cool. That's never gonna happen, but that's cool. Thanks for letting me know. Yeah. So, I don't know. Do you anything else from 2022 that stood out to you?
No. I'm just happy that I made that because we just I just paid for the another year of the podcasting hosting. So after you buy the mic, I'm just gonna pay myself back for that with the Patreon money. But because what happened was because that's obviously when I signed up for it then December of 2021. Because that's when I wanted to get into podcasting, but then I never did anything with it. I had some concepts in mind, but not really sure because I also didn't have anybody to do it with, and podcasts work a lot better with somebody else. You can have that back and forth, more conversational, more so that because one thing that I love podcasts for is kind of like you feel like you're just with your buddies, basically with your friends, chat, talk, shooting the shit, and so you don't really get that in a solo podcast. But then finally, I found a friend to work with me, and it was basically be both about our jobs, our truck driving jobs. So it's actually that kind of a podcast, talk about stories, create all the crazy stories we have from doing our jobs and stuff like that. And I think the concept of the show was actually super cool. I was super pumped about it. I think we were hilarious. We got to 6 episodes, and then so this guy was actually he was kind of like an asshole to me, and that's not really my thing. I'm not a total d-bag to my friends super seriously, but because he doesn't turn it off. Something I'll joke with friends and stuff like that. Oh, whatever. Oh, you're a dick. What blah blah blah. But he definitely took it too far. And then so if it finally just what at the end of an episode, he just started talking about how he loves Putin and Ukraine should just get destroyed. We're on air. And obviously that goes against my morals completely. And I was just dude, I was just what is happening? What's going on? What are you talking about, dude? It just blew up, got into a fight, and it ended the show basically. It was just all right, he's an asshole, and he's gonna talk about how he loves Putin and thinks Ukraine should get destroyed. Whatever, I'm over it. So that was the end of that podcast. But I still wanted to do podcasting. I and it's okay to not have the first thing that you actually really give a good solid attempt for to not work. That's okay. But I think I found the one. I think I found the one. You are the one, Felon. Took a weird turn.
I remember seeing the forum post, and it's funny because I feel like we've talked about the beginning of the show, but I don't know if it was on air or talking with people, but I had always thought about doing a Torn podcast, but kind of the same thing you said, to do it solo, to hold myself responsible for putting out episodes and all that. I just didn't know what it would be like. And then I randomly searched the word podcast on forums, and I saw yours come up, and I was like, okay, interesting. And that's when I reached out to you to see, did you talk to anybody? Has anybody said they have ideas? But the forum that you made had a ton of people oh, I'd love to listen to it. I'd love to see this happen, yada, yada, yada. And, yeah, that was pretty much it from there. So
The spark.
super. Yeah, the spark was there. The spark was there after we actually heard each other talk. Because it was,
Yeah,
you know, it was leading up to it. It's like, oh man, please just sound like a normal person, please.
Yeah, it's kind of important for an
Yeah.
auditory only medium.
Yep. Yeah. So, yeah, that was the beginning and where we are now of the podcast. So
I think it's going
good
great.
times up until then. Oh yeah, it's been a great time up until now, and I can't wait to see what we do for next year. So
Yeah, we should end up closing out the year with like 70-ish episodes.
yeah,
We're closing
insane.
this year out with
Like that's insane.
18. We were almost, this will be our 19th episode, so we almost made it to
Yeah.
19 in 2023.
Yeah. I mean, for us too, like if you count all the patch notes too, we've already done what, like 5 of those?
Yeah, because each one of
5
those
or
is
6
like
of those?
we usually keep it to like 30 minutes, almost
Yeah, half
on
hour,
the
yeah.
dot. Yeah, so each
Yep.
patch notes is an extra like 30 minutes of content every single week as well.
Yep. So yeah, we got quite a bit on there, so I love that.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's 2022, which is now over and done. On to bigger and better things. So let's talk about the upcoming year. Do you have any goals for this coming year in Torn?
5
Anything
build
you've thought of?
dexterity, which I will achieve in 23 days.
I was gonna say, is that really a 2023 goal?
No, it's not.
You should
It's a
your
very
dexterity
soon
goal for 2023 should be like 15 billion.
Well, we'll see. I think I'm gonna take it pretty easily. I always say that, but like I think I'm gonna be in a good place. I'll have because like as I said, soon I will have 5 billion dexterity. But that with
Yep.
Delta armor and in a gents club is gonna make that dexterity just so much more powerful.
Yeah.
Because that makes it so the Tyro is 7.5 bonus. So
Jesus.
it's just ridiculous. And
Yeah.
then my strength is 30 bill and my speed is 1.5 bill. So I guess you could say my goal in 2023 is just to train that speed, keyword train, not SC, train that speed very far up. And I basically
Yeah.
want to end up just really using stat enhance. I'm who knows if I'll use any in 2023. I don't know yet. But I do think my goal is the only stats I'll ever use stat enhancers on is dexterity and strength. That way, if there's only
You get the
2
most out of it.
stats, yeah, you could just really get both of those super, super high. And if I'm only using my energy to train speed, then that's gonna go up pretty quickly. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yep.
So,
Yeah.
I'm
Agreed.
excited.
Nice. Yeah, I've set my goals, I think, decently high for myself, especially at the fact like I'm not in SE range, or I don't like I have money, but like I don't feel I have the money to start SEing like where I want to be. So my goal is my total stats are at 1.8 billion. I want to take it to 5 by the end of this year, and keep my net worth at 20 billion. So try and get the passive income to hopefully. My goal is to be able to take a few SEs this coming year and not just like buy one for the hell of it, but like actually have it fit into like a training routine type of deal.
Right.
So that's where I'm looking, and the net worth will be fairly easy because the company that I'm running right now, if I literally do nothing different to it for the entire year, it would make about 5 billion back at the end of the year. So like that's going to be fairly easy to hit the net worth goal, but obviously nobody wants to stay at that level. You just want to keep going. So yeah, I think that's what I have for 2023. Definitely I want to take I'm not that I haven't taken the game seriously, but I definitely want to be competitive. I feel like because we host a show about the game, like we should be like more competitive in the game too. So like I definitely want to get my numbers up there and actually kind of be a little bit of a force, which would be cool. And I want to be in a successful political assassination. I wasn't able to do it in IBB. I want to finally do it somewhere. Hopefully
Failed, right?
in the rifle. Yeah, I had 2 of them that failed on me. So
Ooh, they gave you 2 chances.
hopefully 2 chances,
Damn.
failed them both.
Damn.
Hopefully in the rifle company we get one going this year. Hopefully, fingers crossed. I'm gonna work towards that.
Good one.
Yeah, we got a couple people in here. I'm gonna butcher this. Valkyrie,
That sounds
I
about right.
think. One of our
Valkyrie.
Patreons. Yeah. Um,
So
her
we've
goal for
talked about her
2023.
before. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, we actually talked about it was last episode, right? We
Yeah.
talked about
Yeah.
somebody who knew the SSL path is not the way to go, but is so invested that
Right. And
that's where it is. And
here's an edit because I
yep,
think I kind of made it sound like they already had SSL, but like they're still working towards unlocking SSL.
yeah. Yeah, she said that her goal is to have it unlocked by 2023. But they said they might actually honestly have it done by the time this episode goes up. So I know they're really,
Oh.
really close to it.
Oh wow.
Which
Okay.
I'm
Yeah.
actually
Wow.
I'm
'Cause I
pretty
know they're a young
excited to
account.
see
They can
it.
get it that early.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yep. Yeah, that's what they said. I know like the stat gains are pretty good. Like it's like 9 dots for every stat.
Right.
So it's definitely good. Obviously, we all know it's not like taking 3 Xanax a day and everything like that, but it's definitely a pretty good amount of stat growth in there. So I'm super super pumped for them because that to unlock SSL is a huge undertaking to get all the energy done without taking any drugs to unlock it. So kudos to them. Interested to see how it goes in the next year for them. We have Wolf Tank 22, another Patreon who wants to unlock the last 2 heavyweights, and also get his company to 10 stars. So I respect that as somebody who runs companies too. Getting your company to 10 stars is really no better feeling. If it's like your own company that you started and everything, I flipped ANs from 8 to 10 stars and could care less about when I had 10 stars as long as I got paid for it. But when you start a company and grow, I mean, you just did it too. You were growing fairly decently before you sold yours too. It's a good feeling when you start something and you see it succeeding. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was the right time to sell. All the upgrades and stuff. I had made like
Yep.
4.4 billion in profits by the time I sold, and then it was 14 like 3 bill or something, 14.4 bill in upgrades and like the initial like investment costs, and I sold it for 15 bill. So like an
Yeah, so
extra
you made a little bit there
600
too.
mil, a little extra there on
Yep.
top of all the profits that's already been made. So it just
Yeah.
feels good. I obviously I had to
Yeah.
fight my way through the low ballers. I got offered 8 bill. I got offered 12
Jesus.
bill. I mean, oh my god. No.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, that's ridiculous.
8 bill. The sell to system price was like 11.2 bill. Why the hell would I sell
Wow.
it for 8 bill?
Wow.
I'd have to be brain dead.
Yeah, that's brutal. Oh,
I'm
speaking
not.
of just a weird thing in my company today, somebody used an intricate hack on me today.
Ooh, that
So
sucks.
so that job
I hate
bonus
that.
is first up, it's like 250 points. It's like an entire month worth of points to do this intricate hack. And you know how much they got off of me?
How much?
Luckily, I had just put all my money in the bank yesterday. 1 million.
That's nice. Okay. Yeah, because I would if I don't have the because you can have the stock benefit to block that.
Yeah.
So they can't do that to
Yep.
you. But it's pretty expensive. I think it usually
Oh, yeah.
sits around like 1.5 bill ish. So if you don't if I don't have it and I have a company, I definitely keep as little as money possible in there. Cause like I hate that it's not secure without it. So and I don't
Yeah.
want some asshole, some noob in some noob company getting a huge payout out of my
Yeah.
hard-earned money that's I think
Yep.
should be locked safely away in my company vault.
Yeah. I just I don't know if like one of my employees tipped somebody off because like yesterday I had like emptied all my money into the company waiting for my bank to expire.
They
So
can't see
like there
how much
wasn't a
money's
lot.
in.
Oh, they can't?
Well, they might
Yes,
be
you
able to see
can.
withdrawals. Let me see. Oh yeah,
No,
no, they can. You're
you
right. Company bank. Yeah, you're
you
right.
can see you can see the
you're
bank.
right.
So I mean even oh, that was funny. Like even at the yesterday when I put the money in there before I bought Sim and put in the bank, I only had like 1.2 billion, which would have only been a $12 million payday. Like $12 million, you work in a company for 25 days to get $12 million. What a
Noob
waste.
shit. Noob shit.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. So I mean, hey, that's on them though. And then we have Disco Ball. Their goals for 2023 is 60 natural nerve, 10 million in each stat, get a kill streak and finishing hits merits, and then the most important goal for 2023 is get on an episode of Torn Underground, which super easy to accomplish. We'll make that happen.
It's Disco Ball.
Super,
They're a
super easy.
Patreon. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
If you're a Patreon, you
Yep.
can just let us know you want to come on for, we can always do we got what's it called?
The spotlight.
Player spotlight. Yes, and as I said, we will get back to player spotlights.
Yep. It's coming back in 2023. It is confirmed. It will be back.
Confirmed. You heard it here first.
Yeah. And then we have one more from Glandem, who recorded her own. So we will play that now.
I've thought a lot about goals for 2023 in terms of Torn. And I guess when I think about it in terms of what I get out of Torn. I love the game itself. So I have goals related to that game. I want to hit 250 million stats. I'm at 6 point something now. I think that's realistic, a stretch goal. I'm going to do what I need to do to make that happen, whether it's cans or anything else. So I make it happen. I'd like to hit 2 billion in the bank, get some passive income. And I'm going to keep on flying to make that happen, right? And then I don't stay just for the game. I'm here because of the people. So I need to have goals related to the people. And so I'm going to work on being a good member of my community. And that means my faction. But also I've lately been widening that community beyond just my faction, right? I hang out with cool people in the Torn Discord, Torn Underground Discord. I've been other Torn Discords that I've been a part of, and I feel like I can be a good community member there too, right? Whether that means running a music league competition or just saying, man, that sucks when people talk about their bad days. So I want both of those things. I want to, get strong, but also I want to, be a good member of the community and build community, be a part of that community building process. That's integral to why I'm here. So those are my goals. Those numerical goals, but then, those soft goals.
And up next we have Gerald, who you've definitely heard about. She's an ad buyer. She's a Patreon. She's active in our community. So as from Torn Underground, thank you, Gerald, for being such a big part of the show. And also Glandem, who we just heard from, big supporter of the show. She's active in our community. She's a Patreon, and she actually did with her faction buy an ad as well. So both of them, they've got the trifecta going on here. But yeah, so we're going to start with Gerald's 2022 achievements, and then we're going to get into her goals for 2023.
All right, my top Torn moments in 2022. In general, I'm very satisfied with my stat growth. Then leading an elimination team was crazy. Constantly growing and evolving with my wonderful faction, which is just my home, and having ranked wars with them, winning 7 out of 9 as a Revive faction, reaching Ghost 2, and the fun of opening too many caches actually. Getting above 30 racing skill. Finally, the arrival of Torn Underground, and the highlight for me, Double, aka Mickey Mouse, aka Ara. But the very last day of the year was the best day, because I got accepted in one of the best 10-star TV companies in Torn. And this means a lot to me because my working stats are actually too low. And I was hoping for that for so long already. And I already have tons of drop points because I was in lower star TV companies. And now I can finally use them. And this will help me so much to reach my goals in 2023. Because for me, the 10-star special in TV company is just the best you can get in whole Torn, even if you're not into racing. But the mini SEs are crazy, the free energy, the extra nerve and crime experience. It will all help me to reach my goals. And it's just making me the happiest girl right now. My goals for this year. In general, pushing my stats, like also working stats, crime experience, racing skill, net worth. So go on making more and more money from stocks, reach level 100, and I'm almost there. Getting as many crime merits before crimes 2.0. Be in a solid PA team. The first one failed, but I keep trying and pushing my C for it. Get over 40 racing skill easily with my new job and qualify for the again, which would be huge. Organize another 2 seasons of JLT. Having a lot of fun warring and winning with my faction. Guesting somewhere actually, because I've never been in any other faction. Joining elimination again and actually considering taking days off work for it. We'll see. And just being the best I can as a player and as staff, making Boogie proud. And meet more awesome people. Happy New Year.
All right, and after thank you to you two for recording your own and sending those in. We obviously that look at that. There's the first player spotlight of 2023. We had 2 people record their own and send it to us. So cheap labor.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean that's pretty much all we have. I mean 2023 for Torn. I mean what are we expecting? Crime 2.0? We're gonna see it this year.
I'm expecting scarred. How does it say that? Scarred Earth, scorched Earth. God, I can't talk. Scorched Earth from Devil. I think he's gonna scorch Torn. I think we're all fucked.
So do you think he's hitting NS with the dirty bomb this year?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. That'll be interesting. I'm interested to see how many he pulls out. I would say, like I said, I think hopefully Crimes 2.0, I think we're going to get a new event. I know Ched posted somewhere that there's supposed to be some updates coming this year to the game. So, I don't know. I'm excited. We'll obviously cover anything that comes out with what we learn. And
maybe we won't.
Maybe we won't.
Yeah.
They'll just put out this huge update in the next episode. We just won't even talk about it.
Nothing happened.
like it didn't happen. Yeah. Oh yeah, Crimes 2.0 was released. All right. Anyway, so back to this forum post. All right.
No acknowledgement.
Yeah, just none at all. Yeah. Here's to 2023 with Torn Underground, and maybe we can make it into the top 1% of podcasts on Spotify this year. Do some real big things.
I would love to see some cool numbers next Spotify wrap up basically for 2023.
Yeah.
And wherever you're listening on, make sure to give us well, I shouldn't say make sure. Just, please give a rating. Please,
sir.
Please just give a rating. It actually does really help. That'd be really cool to get high rates up there, and like maybe people will come find the podcast that are just browsing through Spotify, browsing through iTunes, but because it's getting a lot of traction and eyes on Torn Underground, people are seeing it and finding out that there's a whole game attached to this podcast. Like that's kind of cool.
Yeah, that'd be cool if we could get some people that don't play the game to start listening and maybe like start playing the game. So
with our referral codes, of course. So that
obviously
make sure we have as much
need to get something out of it
to take over Torn, and you will all be mine.
That was supposed to be off air.
I am the new ruler of Torn. I will be a just ruler, but I will be a strict ruler.
Strict and fair.
Strict and fair. Sometimes unfair when I want to be. It'll be up to me.
Yeah, of course, because you'll be the ruler.
Yes. Which
Yeah.
means there's nobody telling me no.
Yeah, pretty much. Yep. And it's
All
going
right.
to be the new rule in Torn is everybody must pay our parachute weekly.
Yeah, that does sound like
It's
a
tax.
good. Oh, really? I like this. All right, that's what we're doing.
Yeah.
All right, everybody send me a parachute. Don't send the felon anything. If anything, just send me whatever you wanted. We're thinking about sending the felon. All right. Cheers
Yeah.
to 2023, everybody. From
Clink.
myself and the felon.
Booyah.
Peace. LTT Clothing Store. From wireless dongles to ranked war rewards, LTT buys and sells it all. Save time and money by discovering Torn's most venerated traders today. Trusted traders, fast liquidation, LTT, unlocking your true potential.